Hey, brother sewing and crafting family. I'm over here playing on Art Spira. I just opened it up and there's some new things in there, of course. Welcome, everyone. Say hi. Angela Wolf here. Very excited to see you. Today, I've got a lesson for you, and I'm going to double check sound is working too because I'm the only one here today. Yours truly has a great tutorial. So I know a lot of you had asked, okay, how did you do all of that beautiful sheer? It's right here. And I've got a ton of YouTube videos showing how to embroider on sheer. But I've got something fun. I've got something fun for you today. I think it'll be good for looking at Art Spira. I'm thinking it's going to be good for Halloween. It could be good for Christmas, any of those things. So what you're going to learn today, first, we're going to go to the multi-needle machine. I'm going to show you how to use the matrix feature. And yes, if you have the still air, you have the same thing on there. So I want to show you that. I also want to show you how to take a really cute design, turn it into an applique, because there's nothing better during the holidays than little coasters. And you can give those coasters away. Super easy to do. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to go on over to the Avenir. We're going to make a fun little gift. It could be for yourself. It could be for decoration. I'm going to put it on my pumpkin. Yeah, because I'm not carving my pumpkin. I leave it outside forever until it literally rots. Last year, Wynn told me I have to put a timer. If I put the pumpkins outside and I'm feeding the squirrels, I have to have a timer to go look at that pumpkin and get rid of it before he lifts it up and the whole thing turns to mush. So I have a decoration for my pumpkin using Tulle. So we're going to embroider on Tulle in a little bit different way than I've shown you before. So today is a lot of fun. And I also need your advice because this right here, this embroidery that, yes, this was part of the Avenir collection, but everyone that saw me at Houston Quilt Fest, and by the way, it was so great to see you all. It's great to see you all, and it was great to see you all, and it's nice to see you here live. So the problem is I made two right sides to the jacket of embroidery and two left sleeves. So either I have to make two jackets or I guess I'll have a sample. I'm not sure. But my dilemma is my fabric, which is that beautiful kind of a peachy corally. I'll show it to you. I found a piece of fabric in my stash that was silk. It is silk, not was. It still is silk. And now it's washed. I will bring that out at the end. I need your vote. Should I scrap the embroidery on this first jacket and just do the embroidery on the black, which you'll see, or should I keep this one with the embroidery? And once you see what I'm talking about, I think you'll get it. So that's at the end. So first, let's get started. I know a lot of you have asked, how do we use matrix feature and how could I use it for something I actually need? So first, we're going to go to the multi-needle. I want to show you, one, how to set up Art Spira, and two, how to use the matrix feature in a very cool way that's very efficient. Maybe you're selling these items, maybe they're for home. So we'll go there first, then we'll head over to the Avenir. So I can see you all in here. Yes, I am live for real. I see you all. I see your comments. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, all the way from the UK. Awesome. So leave your comments. And what I'll do is if you have a question for me, put a couple question marks in advance because when I come back, I can't see the questions from way back there, which is where I'm going. Then I can go back and I don't miss any questions. Sound good? All right. In the meantime, say hi to all your sewing friends. Everybody's here. And make sure you say, what is on your sewing table today? I will say on my sewing table today, I told myself because I was the only one on the live show, meaning I already had everything prepped. I gave myself 2 hours to sew. And that's what I'll show you at the end is my jacket coming together. And if you missed yesterday's show, I talked about underlining versus interfacing. And today, at the end of the show, you'll see exactly what this meant. All right, so great to see you, great to see you. Let's head on over to the back here. First, let's go to the sewing table, and then we'll go to the 10 needle. I want to show you what I have been working on. And again, I have videos on this already, so I'm not going to focus too much on this. We're going to work on a decoration with Tulle. But this is Tulle fabric. And look at how beautiful this design is. This was done in the Avenir, although I have many that were done on the Luminaire, the Still Air. Doesn't matter what machine you have. See how nice and soft that is? Here's one that I sent over to the 10 needle. and it embroidered so fast and easy. Now this was supposed to be the sleeve, if you can imagine that. Here's the black fabric this is going to go on, and it really stands out. Now at the end, I'm going to take your vote on, this is the lighter fabric that I have, which this matches beautifully as well. But when I show you the lining, you're going to have to let me know if it'll work or not. So for embroidering on a simple tool like this, you will use one layer of wash away stabilizer. It feels like fabric. It's not sticky back. It's just wash away. If you're using a large hoop, you should use an adhesive spray. Not a Brother product, but I just spray this on top of here. I will spray the stabilizer on top of here and then lay the tool on top. So it's kind of sticky together. That's the process. So you have to imagine, here's the tool, here's my wash away, here's my tool. This is just black tool. It looks see-through though, doesn't it? It's so cool. Someone said I've become famous for my removable tattoos. I call them that because I can keep changing the embroidery and change my sleeves, and I have different tattoos. So this will all be hooped together in one. Now, we're going to do a different project today, which is going to be a lot of fun, but I'll leave my hoop right here just so you can see it. And I don't float it. I don't use a second layer, although Kathy Stipe was on with us a few weeks ago, if you remember that show, and she likes to use 2 layers of stabilizer. She puts one down below, then she puts the tool, and she puts one more layer of stabilizer on the top. So it's really your preference. I use 1 layer and 1 layer of tool. Now let's go to the machine, and I'll come back here for our fun project and show you a really cool way. If you've never seen this, I'm not sure if I have a video on it. I do have a video on the basic process here, which is what I end up using for all of my beautiful trims. And you can find items in your machine to use for this. All right, and here's what it looks like after it's embroidered. So this is white tool. There's my wash away. I will need to cut away the extra fabric and rinse this with hot water. Very easy process. But first, let's head over to the machine. I will see you there. And unless there's really weird gremlins today, hopefully I can see you all. There's no crazy cameras. And it's just me, so ask away if you've got questions, and I'll try to help. Esther, can you use sticky back stabilizer? I prefer not to use sticky back with tool. Tool's so sheer, and it's like a loose netting. And if you use that sticky back, it gets a little gummy. I do use sticky back sometimes when I'm using a more dense, like a mesh fabric, like the black sleeves. Are they here? Oh, I just took them to Houston. They're in the wash. The sleeves and the top. The whole top is in the wash. The ones that, if you saw a picture, I posted it on Facebook. I'm not sure if it went to Instagram, but I had embroidery all over the mesh sleeves. And the roses, you've seen those many times. That's mesh. It's athletic mesh is what it is. And I do use sticky back for that because it keeps that fabric so stable. I can do the embroidery and wash it away. But the mesh is not like a loose netting. So just imagine this is your fabric if you're using tulle. You can see through it. And that sticky back just isn't always the best. So instead, I use 1 layer of wash away. So hopefully that helps. And what do you got for me, Lorraine? Can you do a quick demo for the sideways directional stitch on the Avenir? Sure, I'll be over there. I'll show it to you. That's the coolest thing ever. And it's actually in a lot of Brother machines. So I know everybody here, leave in the comments what Brother machine you have. And I will be willing to bet quite a few of you have this feature on your machine. I'm not going to go with the odds. But what Brother machine do you have? I would love to know. So drop it in the chat and I can check that here when I come back. And I also love to read your comments after the live show. All right, first, let's go to the multi-needle. You might have seen me set this up last week. It is so much fun. So let me go back to the home screen. I wanted to show you a couple things on here. And by the way, if you look through there, back here, see my hand? That's my front door. There's my dead plant. I think I've got that covered up. But if you see the squirrel come up, just know he's outside the window, okay? This is where the squirrel cam usually is. All right, in here, I love this big screen. We've gotten so used to this, and I love this on the multi-needle. So, yes, this is the brand new 10 needle, the PR 1060W. So in here, a couple things. Someone asked me the other day, I don't think it has my design center. It does, right down here. There's my design center when you click there. So the buttons are in different places than your Avenir. And I actually have been using this machine nonstop since it's been in my studio. And I have this in one corner, the Avenir in another corner. This one's a bit louder, but it's faster. So I have them both going. I actually have them both embroidering, and I'm sewing on my PQ 1500. So go figure. Brother is all over the place here. So here is your My Design Center. We're going to get into that in a minute, but you do have image scan. You do have line drawings. All these things you can do, and you also have your app that you can use with this. So it does come with a scanning frame, which you can see right here. I prefer actually I usually send everything through the phone. But I want to go in here because I know some of you had asked during Houston Quilt Fest, how do you set up Artspira? I don't even know where to go. So down here in the settings, and everybody's machine is different, but it's usually in the settings tab. So I think it's on the last page. Artspira. Click on register, and you can either go to the website or scan it with your phone. And when you scan it with your phone, there's settings. I have a code I need to put in, and once I put this in, I'll go to the next setting. So I'm on my phone right now, so I can't do this, but I wanted to show you it's on page 12. It's super easy to walk through, and then you can go on Artspira and send your designs over. These are some of the new ones. These are so cute. Collection of the month. Very fun. Oh, they have earrings. I was looking in here for a pumpkin, and I didn't find one I liked so much. So we're going to make a different deck. Oh, wait, I didn't see that one. I like that one. Is that cutting or... No, it's embroidery. I looked for something like this yesterday. I must have been too tired and I missed it. So a pumpkin like this would be really fun for what we're doing. But all right, back here. In here, you have the matrix feature, and this is one thing I want to point out, and this is so much fun. So you just saw all that embroidery that I did. Well, you can make rows of different stitching. You can also take a design using the matrix feature, and it quickly fills your hoop. So like I mentioned, I like to do coasters, usually pretty much for every holiday, because when we have a party, they get a coaster and then they get to take it home with them. Sometimes I have enough time to put their name on it, others not so much. All right, so let's just pick, I'm not going to embroider this out, so we'll just pick this. All right, does anybody know what the name of that is? Well, if you're from Louisiana, you probably do. Because when I went there, everybody had this on everything that they had. Helen, are you watching? Help me out here. What is it? Florilla D. Oh, I never can say it right. Okay, there you go. Click on set. There's my design. And again, the only other machine that has this is the Still Air. So if you have the Still Air, you will have this feature, but your screen will be a little bit different. So do you want to rotate it? Do you want it to be just a single? I'm going to show you two things. Here's the matrix feature, and look at it, fills up the hoop. Now, actually, that would be pretty cool fabric, wouldn't it, for a bag? And I always mention different things because I like you to think outside of the box. So if I embroidered all that, I'd have an entire piece of fabric to make a bag. But if I wanted this to be separate little pieces I could use in different areas, cut them apart, then you want to use this tool down here that makes them a little bit further apart. And as it does it, it reconfigures how many will fit in one hoop. Very fast and easy way. I definitely can see why they put this on the multi-needle machine. Because first of all, I'll bring you up a little higher here. First of all, a lot of people use this machine to make money. Some people use it because they just love to embroider, like myself. Nonstop. So what an easy way, though, to do this quickly. Okay, so what are you going to do with those? I don't know. what I wanted to talk about is how to turn this into a coaster or an applique. A couple ways you can do it. So let's just say this is the icon that you want. Click on Add. Go down here to Shape. And let's just pick a cool shape. There. Now that looks fantastic. Now when I click Set, I'm making sure I double check you guys can hear me. I hear my phone, so I want to make sure. I'm going to come back over here. You all are so good that if the sound goes out, you'll text me. But this is my phone that I'm on, and the other phone's ringing. So everybody can hear me okay? We're still good? Oh, thank you. I didn't do too bad, fleur-de-lis. But I cannot say it as good as all my friends in the South. Fleur-de-lis. I wish I could bring you on live and everybody, we could have a little contest. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Thank you. Susan, does it have Disney designs? You know, I didn't even look. I'll go check. I don't think it does, but I will check. Oh, look at everybody's machines. Yeah, you should find the same feature in your machine. Anything else I'm missing? Oh, goodness. You guys were busy while I was gone. Hey, Brenda's got the Avenir. By the way, speaking to all Avenirs, while I'm going back to this machine, it looks like I do have sound. That's good. Thank you. And I said it right. Huh, good. So anyways, all of you at the Avenir, make sure I have been answering emails. If you did not receive your email from Brother to receive the new embroidery collections that go with the Avenir, be sure to email me and I can help you out there. All right, back over. Now that I know you can hear, let's head back over here. So first of all, this would make a great coaster because I have the circle around it. I can also add another outline to turn it into an applique, which I do frequently for something like this because I will embroider this first, then turn it into an applique. So once this is embroidered, I can put a nice piece of fabric underneath and finish. So either way, this outside circle would work for that or the other. So let's select all. Okay, click OK. And once you select all, you can move this around. You can do anything with it that you want. But notice what left, the matrix feature. Did you hear that noise on the door? It's like, hey, I'm here. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back. Let's turn this into a, go here, select the outside. When you click select, there's a box on the inside, and then now there's a box on the outside circle. If I go on the inside, which you can barely see that red box there, if I click on applique there, well, that's only going to go outside of this one here. Click set. See? That went outside of this, which would be great. That's pretty cool too. That would make an awesome patch. But I don't want that. I want it outside my circle. So click undo. Now we'll touch on the outside of the circle. And by the way, notice this is a touch screen. You can also use the keys down below. Now let's turn it into a applique. I'll make it a little bigger. It's in millimeters, so how big of a coaster do you want? Oh, that would look nice. And notice it has kind of a cool edge around it too. Click OK. Everything's not centered, so let's center back up. Click on this one, click center, and now it's all centered. All right, on this outside one here, when I click this, it only shows the outside. It doesn't show the fleur-de-lis. It only has this, the outside circle. Now, do you want these this close? Make them further apart. I'm showing this for a reason. I might have done this one other time with the still air, but I want to show this again. So, okay, that could be one. But what do you have in here? You have some beautiful fonts and letters. So if you're going to make coasters for your party, you can go to each one of these circles that you've already, this is already sized to the best of your hoop. If you're having 6 people or you're having 10 people, it doesn't matter. Just keep rehooping. And I can click add. And let's go into fonts. Now, all of you that have an embroidery machine from Brother, you have some pretty awesome fonts in your machine. Let's see. And also, don't forget about Artspira. If you've seen us play in there, there's 100. Well, I'm not going to quote it, but there are a lot of fonts, a lot. All right, so let's just do. I'm going to do like a W. I'll do one for Win. That's pretty big, so I want to make it smaller. So down here you can see there's medium and small. Small might be a little too big. There's large. Okay, oops, I'm not done with the letters. Sorry. I'm skipping ahead of myself. All right, let's go with Win. W-I-N-N. Yes, no relation to the casino in Vegas. Just my husband's name. All right, that looks great. Click set, and I can bring Win's name over. Do you see how fast and easy this is? So everyone who has a guest, or all the names of your guests, can fit in here. If your name is too large, well, let's try that. Okay, let's add. I think my name probably will not fit. Let's see what font. I do like this font. A. It's pretty big. Go to the medium. And G. Okay. Excuse me. I tried to mute my mic, but if I sneezed on you, just be happy you're on the other side of the screen, right? All right, there's my name. Now, that might fit. It might not fit. I don't know. But if we use the array feature, so I'm showing you some of this because I know a lot of you have other Brother machines, and this is how easy the 10 needle is as well. I know there's kind of a fear out there for the 10 needle. It's like, oh, can I thread it? Is it going to work? Is it too much work? Absolutely not. And I'm one of those people. I always preferred the one needle, the single needle, but I will say that this is so much easier to use, except I forget a couple steps. So, okay, there's my name. That might work. Let's go here. Make it smaller. There we go. So you have these keys. Click OK. Now I can move it after I click set. There. So if you have a name that's a little larger, try something like that. And I can fill in all the names. I'm not going to take you through all of that, but here you go. Click Edit End. Here's my colors. Oh, here's my design. Click on Embroidery. And then I can go in and change my colors. It's telling me, hey, you need to change these colors because we have applique on here. So I can go through and change my colors. I could also make each one different. It's totally up to you. Very simple, but I wanted to show you that matrix feature, and I'll take your questions before I go over to the Avenir, and we're going to actually do our project. All right, what questions do you have for me? Delia, you know, I would love to know in the chat, have you ever used a multi-needle machine? I mean, I know you've seen it probably at shows. You've seen it on the live shows. We don't really feature it very often on the live show, and I don't know why. But now with the new 10 needle, I think the perception for so many years, at least in my opinion, is that everyone thinks if you have a multi-needle, you have to run a business. I mean, and you could make money at it too. Embroidering logos on towels, embroidering fonts on towels, not fonts, but monograms, things like that. I know a lot of people who have online shops, and it's super fast. Okay, so just look at that right there. If you use beautiful fabric and turn that into coasters with cute phrases or names, you could sell those very easily. But not everybody wants to sell their stuff online. So I propose that the 10 needle is a great combination with any of the Brother sewing or sewing embroidery machines because it can be embroidering while you're sewing. So that's just my thoughts because I'm just going to be embroidering on it. I know it does look scary, Elsa, but I have a couple of videos coming up and you would be shocked how easy it is to thread, how easy it is to set up. I had everything, including the table, set up in 1 hour. Oh, here we've got a 10 needle. We've got a multi-needle. Oh, Lorraine. Lorraine has an amazing sewing room. Although, Lorraine, I've never seen it, but I know all the machines you have. Brenda, you haven't? You've never used it? Okay, we need to become friends. Just do one little project at a time. Oh, the 6 needles, great, Rose. And they all have different features. So this one has a camera feature. You can see exactly where your embroidery is going. It'll scan in your hoop so you know what you're embroidering on. Brother has given us so many easy ways to embroider and make sure your placement is right. All right. Any other questions? Now we're going to go over to the Avenir. I'm making sure I'm not missing any. So just as a reminder, if you ask me a question when I walk away, put a couple question marks in front of there, and I'll come back. I won't miss it. All right. Let's head over to the Avenir. I told you I have both these machines next to each other. They've become friends. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. I have to ask. What is the name of your machine? Everybody names their machines, right? All right. Well, I always name mine Angela something. I named the 10 needle Top Gun because I was trying to think. My husband said, "What are you going to name that one?" I like to name them because when I'm using Art Spira or PE Design, I know what machine I'm sending these to. So I did. I named it Top Gun because it is so fast, so smooth, and I cannot believe that I waited this long to use it. Yeah, to even start using the multi-needle, I should say. I've used them, but I usually shy away from them. So Top Gun it is. What are you naming your Dee's toy? Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. Denise? Yeah, you got to name them. Then you know what you have. Tinkerbell. Oh, that's a good one. All right, I'm headed to the Avenir. Keep your comments rolling. And I'm going to try not to trip over all my cords on the way over. Okay, this is the Avenir. And guess what? There's no matrix feature, but I have another idea for you. And I think you're going to like that. So here on the home screen, as you can see, my screen is a little different than the 10 needle. There's my design center down here. We're going to go into embroidery. Oh, somebody asked me if there was Disney. So there is Disney in this machine. Let me go back and look at the multi-needle again. I don't think I saw Disney over there. I'm looking. No Disney on the 1060. The 1060W does not have Disney that I can see. All right, but don't forget, you do have, I'll open my app again real quick for you. Maybe. Okay, don't forget in Art Spira, though, Art Spira does have Disney designs in here. Right now I'm on Halloween. That's a cool pumpkin, too. But let's see, Disney. See, there are Disney designs in the app. So you can send these to the machine. Now, you cannot sell these, so don't think you can make these and make money on them, because that doesn't happen. Okay, in embroidery, this is another way to create quite a few designs if you do not have the matrix feature. And don't worry, Lorraine, at the very end, I'll show how to do the directional sewing. And any other things you guys want to see, I'll add to the end of the show. All right, so in here, let's just choose a design. I love that these are all under categories. Seasons, maybe I'll do seasons. I don't know. Yeah, let's do seasons. Right now, fall is in the air. Let's see if we've got anything kind of fall-ish. Well, that's kind of a fall wreath. How big is it? Not too bad. Oh, that's pretty. I love checking the built-in designs. You know what's hilarious? Do you ever sew with friends or, well, embroider with friends, or you see friends online and you're like, oh, I love that design. Where did you get that? Like in my Avenir. Oh, I have the Avenir and I never knew that design was in there. I think it's impossible to find all of these designs. There's so many. That's pretty. Okay, click set. All right. Again, we can do the same thing by adding a shape around it. But first, let me show you how you can create multiple designs on one page. Similar to the matrix, not quite as efficient, but it still works. So under the edit feature, this is what we call the border feature right here. And this whole screen here, if you see a plus or a minus going up and down, so this icon right here shows me up and down. And I'll use my stylus. This is not the stylus for this machine. This is. But this is a small brother stylus that I use so my finger is not in your way. So this icon right here shows me up and down. If I click plus, see how it adds? Or if I hit minus, it takes it away. Now, if I hit plus here and I hit plus here, now it added to the top and bottom. It almost looks like the matrix, right? If I click again, oh, I can fit one more. And can I fit one more? All of that. But if you want to make it bigger, the difference is on here, down below, this is where you can push these closer together or further apart. If I start to move these further apart, see that click? It says you can't do that. There isn't enough room. Whereas the matrix feature would automatically reconfigure how many you need. So this is a bypass if you don't have the matrix feature. And many of you with your brother machines have this. So look for the border function. So let's take a couple away. Now let's spread them apart. I'm going to center that. Let's move it all the way over here to the left. I'm using these buttons right down here to move it. Now, this is the icon right here to go sideways. So let's add another one over here. It says, nope, you can't add more than that. So again, it won't reconfigure this for you, but it will create exactly the same thing over here. And let's make it spread it apart a little bit. So see how easy that is? So it's not the matrix feature, but you are still adding quite a few designs. You know what hoop you're using. If you're using a smaller hoop, you can choose that in your settings and then make sure your designs are within that hoop. So here is a way to do this when you don't have matrix. And you know, this border feature, I have a video coming out for the Avenir, and I'll try to do one on YouTube because I think a lot of you have this feature on your machine, not just the Avenir, and I think people forget about it. All right, so here, now we're going to go on to my little mini project for you. I've got my pumpkin. It hasn't, it's passed the test. It's not rotting yet, so, but I want to do something on this, and I don't want to cut it open. So by using the washaway stabilizer and Tulle that I usually do for my beautiful sleeves, I'm going to create something that we're going to place on this pumpkin. And no, we're not going to push holes in the pumpkin. We're not cutting holes in the pumpkin. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And I'll give you some ideas if you have kids or you want to do something really fun after I show you how easy this is. So go into embroidery again. Let's find something that doesn't take too long. Let's see, botanical. And while this is embroidering, I'll show you my lining. I heard the dryer finish. So today is like the class. You get a lot of tutorials and a little bit of everything today. All right, what do we have? I need something. I have an idea. Let's just do the fonts. So don't forget to click font preview if you want to see what it looks like. What would be a really good font to say Happy Halloween? This one maybe? Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, let's see. I've never used this font before. So H. That's pretty big. Let's see. Oh, and don't forget, on this machine, you can actually, it has a font number. So I'm looking down here. It's not small, medium, large. Now it's a font. So if I select that, I'm going to actually go back. Let me take this way down. I could have just clicked that one and changed it, but let's go to like a, I'm going to say probably a 14. Try that. H. That's much better. You might need magnifying glasses to see that. But don't worry, I'll bring you closer here in a minute. All right. A, P, P, Y. Yeah, that looks good. And Let's see. Next line. Halloween. This is when I'm really happy that I have my cheaters on. Wait. Okay. And back to our Art Spira here. I had already punched in Halloween. And I could add one of these cool embroidery designs too if I wanted to. I'm not adding a spider. You all know I hate those. In fact, there was one on my window this morning as I was pulling out of the driveway. I literally got out of the car and had to squash him before I could leave. I can't. Oh, we all have our fears, right? These are cute though. Now some of these are print. That's a good Halloween. But I could also send something over here to embroider, but I want to make this a little fast for you today. So I'm just going to do the Happy Halloween. Click set. That looks great. Now we're going to add. So it's kind of ties in everything we've been doing today. Let's see. A circle might be too much. Why don't we do a rectangle? And maybe something like this. Let's see what that looks like. That's not bad. I'm just going to keep it super simple. There, I like that. Click set. And then now we're on the next screen for embroidery. And when I go under here and click edit, I'm editing the outline here. Let's click on size. And we're going to make it a little bit bigger so I can fit my Halloween. Not quite that big. And I'm looking here what size hoop I'm going to need to use. I was planning on using a 4x4, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get this to a 4x4. Maybe. No, it looks like 5x7. All right. So there, I'll bring you a little closer so you can see this. This is my Happy Halloween. Now, again, I could fill the entire hoop up with this and make a bunch of these. Save the design, duplicate the design, and I could make a lot of gifts right here. So let's just go here and I'm going to hit on select all, click OK. And when you click on select all, look at all the things that got grayed out. So I can move it. I can add an outline if I want to take it into my design center. I can still use the border function. If I want to hit duplicate, let's see. There, it duplicated, and I can move this up. But it only duplicated my outline. It didn't do the whole thing. Okay, so click undo, undo, undo. There we go. All right, so in embroidery, click on embroidery. I can see that there's all of my fonts. It's all in one color. That'll make it easy. Although I have a fun fall color. You guys can choose what color you want. Now, the tricky part of this is now we are going to hoop this. So the whole thing, before I go any further, I want to rotate everything. 90 degrees. You'll see why in a minute because I'm using the 5x7 hoop. Still, I can use the 5x7 hoop, but I want to have a little bit more room in here for all of my tulle. All right, we're ready. Click OK. And we're ready to embroider. Now let's go hoop our fabric. And this is the part that you might not have ever tried before. It's very cool. On my way over, I'll check and see what questions you got for me. Oh, buying boots, Victoria. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that would be way more fun. Well, no, nothing's more fun than sewing. Is the Disney in Art Sphere paid or unpaid? The ones I've seen are paid. And you can just buy the one, I think you can just buy the individual designs. Hey, Jenny, great to see you. All right, what else do you have? Can you download Disney on your 10 needle? Well, if you send it from Artspira, yes. So whatever you have on Artspira, you can send over to your machine if it's a brother machine. Oh, those are great names for your machine. Now everybody's on the to-do list for your machines. And don't forget what machines what. I don't know. Usually mine's always called Angela something, Angela sewing, Angela's creative, Angela something, and then I ended up with Top Gun. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so let me show you how. Yes, Carolyn, you can. You can group the designs and border to duplicate it. Yes. Okay, now let's head to the table and I will show you how I'm going to hoop this. Now, this is not for the designs that I've done for my sleeves, okay? So it's not the same process. So for this project, you need a small piece of tulle. You need 1 layer of wash away stabilizer, not sticky back, but wash away, and 1 sheet of water soluble topper. You also need a little cup of water. Actually, I prefer a little squirt jar or squirt tank, but I don't have one. So I have a little bit of water here, which I'm not going to spill. So this is, again, not the same technique that I did for my sleeves. So just to be clear, in case you popped in late. All right, so my tulle, I have this cut a little bit bigger than I need. Let's get our stabilizer here. I walked away with my good scissors. Okay. Open this up. So here's my stabilizer. And again, my name is going to go Happy Halloween, right? So this is the part that is different. I take my tulle and I'm scrunching it. We're making it like a little bit of a gathered, you can call it a gathered mess if you want to. That's kind of what it's going to look like. All right, so I'm going to use my scissors to hold this in place. You need some props. You need a second hand, a third hand, whatever you want. But see how I'm making this? I'm just gingerly folding this. There's no special rhyme or reason. You just need to make sure you have enough tulle outside of your hoop so we can hoop this. But before we hoop it, I've got something else you need to do. So let me find another hand over here. There, I'll use my little bin from class. All right, and now now I need the scissors. This isn't going to work. All right, I got my brother notebook here. I'll use that. Okay, so now I want to cut a piece of, this is just water topper. Different than wash away. You could use wash away too, but this is really light. It feels like a trash bag. Put this over everything. And why are you going to do that? Because if I tried to embroider with all of these folds, you know one word? You already know the word I'm going to say, for all of you that know me. It starts with H. Hot mess. Yes, it's a hot mess. It would definitely be a hot mess. I want to make sure I've got enough stabilizer hanging off each side because that's part of the beauty here. Okay. I want to make sure I got plenty of folds. That looks good. Now let's put our water soluble topper on the top and close this hoop. I would love to know what you're thinking right now. Are you like, what are you doing? Have you seen me do this before? Do you think it's going to be a cool project? Or are you thinking this is crazy? What are your thoughts? You're going to love this. This is going to be so much fun. So what do we have here? We've got our water soluble topper. We've got tulle all folded. The bottom is one nice layer of wash away. Again, this is different than our sleeves where you only have one layer of wash away and one layer of tulle. Okay, but that's beautiful. This is going to be a little fun and crazy. Okay, so I need your vote. What color of thread. I love it. You all are going to try this. Yay. Okay, so I picked out some fall colors. What color looks spooky enough for Halloween? I didn't want to use black. That's too boring. I have this rusty orange. These three are in my thread kit. These are not. I got a little carried away trying to pick a color. The pumpkin is orange. Do you think this would stand out okay? This is called fox red, but it's kind of an orangey. Depends on your computer screen what it looks like. It's kind of a rusty orange. That might look good. Or I could do the letters in maybe something similar to the pumpkin and use this as the outline. Do I have any votes? What color would you use? These are just warm fall colors. If I do this for Thanksgiving, I would choose this whole group here. Purple. Oh, purple would be good. I don't have purple on here. You got to pick something I've got here. Otherwise, I have to go find it. Purple would be great, though. How did I not think of purple? Green or an orange? Bright green. Okay, we got rusty orange. Oh, I like purple, though. That sounds fantastic. Okay, how about I'll go get purple. But I'll do fox red for the letters. And why don't we do purple for the outline? I'll find purple while it's embroidering. Okay, and I see that a lot of you, lime green would be good. Yeah. I see a lot of you said you're going to try this. Ooh, bloody red. Yeah, that's very Halloween-y. Okay, come on over. Burnt orange. All right, do I have you on the right screen? I do. Climbing over all my cameras to get over here. So here's my pumpkin. If I do the letters in this, hold on. Don't move. I'm not leaving you. I'm just going to see if I've got like a super, ooh. Do you want like this kind of purple? I liked the purple idea. Is that good? So those two together, or should I go more like these two? Oh, I got it. These two. Now I see what you guys were talking about. Purple and lime green. That's perfect for Halloween. Oh, that even rhymed. Okay, that was really cheesy. Okay, in here. Let's go back. I'm going to hit return. And I'll take this out so you guys can see the steps I'm doing. I want to change the colors. So for edit, click on color. For the H, let's go. Should we do the, now I've got fuzz all over me. Should I do the purple letters or green letters? I'll do purple. Okay, so let's go under here and find purple. Well, actually, I can keep all of those black and I'll change them to purple. That'll take too much time to change all of them. But I do want to go down here to my box. Let's change that to lime green. And did this have two colors or one? Just one. Okay. So my letters are in black, but I know black is going to be purple. And then I have a green outline. Okay, click on embroidery. Slide my hoop in. This is when I hope that my camera doesn't go. It tends to do that. Okay. I put a new bobbin in. It's white. It's not going to matter because hopefully you don't see your thread coming out anyways, because that would be bad. All right. See how nice that is? And let's go ahead and change our thread to, let's see what's first. So first are the letters. So we're going to do purple. And don't worry, while these are embroidering, I'm going to go get that lining for you. And you can help me vote on if I should use the floral embroidery or not. So if you're popping in late, this has been a really fun day. I get to hang out with you all by myself, which is great. And two, I need your help on deciding what to do with a very expensive fabric I've been working on because I don't want to mess it up. And I want to wear it a lot. All right, let me reach my hand under here. Okay. So one other thing I want to do, let me go back here. Under layout, there's a basting box that I want to do to keep my fabric in place. So I clicked on that. And now let's go back. Put the foot down. And this is the part where it's going to put a box all the way around the outside. This is probably the most important part. We'll be able to see how it's a base. If you've never done that around your design, if you have a big crazy design, it's the easiest way to keep your fabric in place. And it's very easy to pull out. Now I did see somebody, I'm going to stop it. I did see somebody on one of the Facebook groups recently say, when it does that back stitch there, it's hard to rip out. If you don't want that, then click stop before I did, because you could just baste starting, skip ahead a couple stitches, do your basting, and then stop sooner than that. So I'm not sure if any of you were the ones that had asked that question, but that was a great question. So if the basting box, if it has too many stitches at the beginning, it's too hard to take out, just skip a couple stitches, do your basting, and end early. But because I ended early, now I need to make sure that I'm going over to my colors. So click on the plus. And from here, make sure you can see it all. Click down one. And now I'm at the H. Make sense? So you can skip ahead by clicking right down here. This is your plus minus. This is how you skip ahead or go back and forth. I like to give a few extra tutorials because I know not everybody is as familiar with their machine as many of us are. And I always like to pretend that you're just starting to embroider. All right. While that's embroidering, I'm coming back over to you on a different camera. I am walking into the laundry room to get my lining. So you have to just picture that. It's gorgeous. Okay. It's silk. Now it's suede silk because I washed it and dried it. I'm coming back to you. Take your questions while it's embroidering. Okay. Question. Wow, this clashes. I clash with my lining big time, but I found this. Oh my goodness gracious. So look at this beautiful piece. I love it. So let me take you back over while this is embroidering. I'm going to take you back over. We're squirreling for a moment. I need your opinion. Okay, so this is where I've been sewing. And I am here with the PQ 1500. This is what I've been sewing on. If you missed my show yesterday, I talked about the difference between underlining and interfacing. So this piece of fabric has underlining and interfacing because this is silk to peony. If you put interfacing right on this fabric, it will be icky. That's your word for the day, icky. So I've already used the needle felt attachment for the PQ 1500. I don't know if they still sell it, so I'll check for those of you that were looking for it. So I distressed the fabric. Isn't that beautiful? And you can go back to my old last couple of videos to see what I did here. So this was the original fabric. This is going to be the facing because I thought the nice polished side will angle out when I open my collar, and this is the distressed side. Because silk du peony is mostly known for bridal wear and fancy, super fancy. And I don't want that. I want to wear it with jeans. So look at this lining that I found in my stash. This is what we call a stash buster, like a grape buster. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So now my problem is this matches perfectly. So hold on. We have to go start our machine again. All right. Hold tight. I got to just change my thread here. Okay. I see one little thing I might have to change. Some of that white bobbin thread is showing because the fabric's so thin, but we'll go back to that. All right, so here you go. Now, this does not match though. Here's the problem. Here's the embroidery that I was going to attach to this jacket. So if I attach this embroidery, which you can see this, I'll bring you out just a little bit. I don't leave all the tulle on there. I cut it off. But see how beautiful that looks with the jacket? Yeah. So now my problem is that doesn't really match my lining. So do I just go ahead and use this as the lining? You can't see both anyways, and go ahead and add the embroidery? Or do I just add the lining and forget the embroidery after all that? This is a very difficult decision. All right, I'm going to leave it right there for a sec. I need to go check my embroidery. I just need to fix one little thing here. You guys can vote while I'm checking this. Hold on. I'm just switching my bobbin to black because I can just barely see that white. And I think it's actually the stabilizer that's coming through, but I'm going to make sure I just change this to black. I don't need any of that. I mean, we're basically embroidering on water-soluble stabilizer. That's it. Okay. Almost there. I'm just going back, and then I'll come back over to you. Okay. What is your vote? Curious to know what your vote is on this, because I am perplexed. All right, what do you got for me? It's embroidering right now. As soon as it's finished, we'll bring it over here. You're going to be so excited when you see how easy this is. Use the embroidery and use plain lining, Charlotte says. Carolyn says use both. You should not see the lining. And this is why, because the inside facing, it's almost a jean jacket style I'm doing. When it opens, the only time you're going to see the lining is basically if I take the jacket off. Joyce says, use the embroidery for another project, which I do have black, Dupioni. I could do that. Kathy says, do both. Embroidery should stay. I love this. This is why I ask you. Oh, Julie, I'm doing the words in purple. Words are in purple. The machine does not care what. The machine absolutely doesn't care what color thread is in it. In fact, it doesn't even know. Except the multi-needle does, because you program it. So that's the difference. Okay, you guys like the purple and green. Good, good. So Julianne said, are you using the same color in the bobbin? Well, I'm not. But if you were going to see the backside, you would. So I had white in. I changed it to black because the white was showing. I think it was actually the stabilizer that was showing through. So I just changed it to black. And you'll see once all this washes away what it'll end up looking like. But it has to look good on the top, period. Kathy, how does a basting box help with your stitching? I just heard a noise. It doesn't help with the stitching. It helps to keep your fabric in your hoop totally stable. And you know, I had all those folds and all those wrinkles. So if you're using a fabric that is not totally flat in your hoop, number one, that topper helps. And number two, that basting box holds that fabric in place. So when you start stitching, it's not moving and not tempted to maybe get caught with your foot. Now it shouldn't get caught because I have a topper on there. All right, so I think it's about 50-50. Kathy says make a fashion statement and use both. Save the lining in project. You can show it off. Yeah, that's okay. I got to go change the needle. Hold on. I'm changing, not the needle. I got to change my, do I have one more little line to sew before I go to green? Oh, I do. Okay, one more. and then I'll take you over there. So while that's embroidering, I'm going to take you to the multi-needle while you're all voting on my lining. That's looking good. Okay, come over here. For those of you that are wondering what designs are built in here, let's wake her up. You have a lot of beautiful buttonholes. I absolutely love the buttonholes that are embroidered. I use them for decoration quite often. These are great. So let's just click one. You have different sizes for them, large, medium, small. When I click set, this also is a feature that I could use with the matrix. That looks a little crazy, but it would, if I spread these apart a little bit, you got to think outside the box, especially if you're hanging out with me. And then let's make it a little bigger. That's cool, isn't it? I bet you that would take a while to embroider. Just a bit. So, okay, I'm going to hit cancel. Let me show you what I actually do with the buttonholes, though. Click on the border feature, and this has the border feature like we just showed. If I click the up and down way, I'm adding a couple more. See those? These make great trim on the bottom of a shirt, or if you're trying to have a cool trim on your jacket. So for here, let's make this a little further apart. All right, look at that. Wouldn't that be great for the edge of a sleeve? And again, you can use the border feature and add another row. You can separate those if you'd like. So I hope you're getting a lot of embellishing ideas here in between trying to do a really fun Halloween project. All right, we have how many more minutes? We're getting there. I'm watching her go. You know what I think I did? You are all going to crack up on this one. Let me take you back over to this other screen. Remember when I was playing with duplicating everything? I think I added 2 rows of letters, which I'm going to take off. Oh, you guys have some great ideas for me. Save the lining for another project. All right, I love that lining. The other problem I found is that this jacket is going to be a vest because I didn't have enough fabric for the lining, and I found 2 awesome fabrics for the shirt. So you want to make this more complicated? Okay, she's still embroidering. I got to keep you entertained while it's embroidering. So look at this fabric. This is lace. Again, I found it in my stash, and guess what? The mauve is the same color. It's the same color as the jacket. It needs washing. It smells musty. So come over here, and our hour is up, but I got to finish. I will finish this little, you got to see how this goes on the pumpkin. So here's the other fabric. If I took the lining, if I took this away, this matches perfectly. Too many decisions, right? Too many decisions, too little of fabric. That's all I got to say. All right, I'm just double checking that this is. We're getting there. I'll take you over. Let's go over to this camera together. We're just about finished here, and I'll show you. That's what I was thinking. Should we just make it like a big old add everything to the one jacket? Okay, my iron's singing to me. All right, so what do we have here? Halloween. Now, here's the thing. I added more letters here, so I'm going to go back. Let's go here. Click OK. And I'm going to go right here. All right. I don't know what I hit, but it's not coming out. Come on. Oh, and I did not save it. Dang it. Well, let me show you how this works. There you go. That's what I get for stepping over my cords. There's the Happy Halloween. You would have an outline here, and I will have an outline here when I come back over here. Right here, but come on over to the table, and let me get my pumpkin, because this turns out super cool. All right, come on to the table right here. Here we go. Hey, Delcia, great to see you, by the way. I saw your embroidery on your t-shirt. It looked fantastic. All right, so I do not have my border on there, but I do have the basting border, which will be fine to show you how this ends. And then I'm going to go back and finish embroidering that the right way. Okay, but you'll get the idea. Come on over to the table. It's very, very simple to do. Okay, so we are going to pretend that my basting border is my border, but you would have an entire border here. And actually that'll be fine, because then I can go back and embroider this. Take it out of the hoop. This is how we're going to speed this up because our hour is up. Take this off. This just tears off. You can also spray a little water on it, but don't do that yet, because that's kind of the whole key part here. All right. Actually, I'm just going to take that basting box off, because you don't have to have the basting box. But if you had the outline, it just makes a nice polished look. So take the basting box away. Look at the back side. Take away. You can see how there is a little knot at the beginning of the basting box. So to prevent that, like I mentioned, skip ahead or skip behind on the stitches. All right, now go here. And we're cutting away the wash away stabilizer. As close, now you're going to have a box, or if you're just doing letters, just as close to your outline as you can. All right, I've got that little basting box. I want to get rid of that stitch right there. So see how I'm stitching as close to this as I possibly can? All right, now look at see how my tulle is all wrinkly under there? That's what I wanted. Because now when I attach it to the pumpkin, or, another place this looks great on is a candle, anything like that. But you're like, wait a minute, I can see that stabilizer. That is so weird. Don't worry. Grab your water. Now, a squirt bottle works the best for this, but since I don't have one, I'll just use this paper towel with a little bit of water and just dab it on my wash away. This is when you hope you grab the right stabilizer and not the, I'm like, please tell me I grabbed the wash away. I did. And not the, I have another one that looks just like wash away, but it's not. So it's not going to dry in time for you, but this will literally rinse away and then it will stick to your pumpkin. So you have all of that little wrinkly, dinkly tulle, and this will stick to the pumpkin. And I'll do this over the sink, not with you. See? I think the green will look really good on there. And then you have all these wrinkles that are just going to stay on here. And I can either wrap it around the pumpkin. One thing I like to do, and I'm not sure how you're going to see that from here, but we'll try it. So see how the wash away stabilizer is disappearing? come over to this camera and I'll show you how I decorate this. It's such a fun, cute little thing. All right, so come here. I'll move this out of the way. Yeah, now you know my dilemma. That looks great. That looks great. That looks great. Let's get it all off of here. So you can see the washaway is already starting to disappear on here. And then what I do is I scrunch this up, and you can either wrap it around the pumpkin, or a lot of times I will just leave it just kind of hanging, and I'll put, now I'll just use thread for now, but I will put little chocolates and candies. You can put this on your table. We're going to put pins and whatever I've got hanging out here. So, but this is stuck here. So whatever image you have, if it's a word, if it's a phrase, and because of that embroidery, because we scrunched up all of the tulle, that's what we have. So see? Now I'm going to take this to the sink, get it a little better wet. But once you spray that wash away, it's really sticky and it disappears. All right, well, that is your fun tutorial. This is, by the way, when if any of you have weddings coming up or anything like that, it makes a great gift. Do a beautiful monogram, do exactly what I just showed you, spray the back, and it sticks right to a candle, it sticks to vases, it sticks to whatever you want to do. So any last questions before I let y'all run? That was fun. Oh, Lorraine, you wanted to see the sideways. I promise I will show you next time because we're way over our hour. So I'll bring it up on Tuesday or sooner and drop a video in for you. How's that? All right. Any last minute questions? Otherwise, the schedule next week, Tuesday. We've got a Tuesday show. We've got a Thursday show. My Wednesday show is being pushed to Friday because I have a class here. Oh, someone says, just show me where the button is. Okay, I'll show you where the button is. Come over here. Except I stepped on the cord. Let me plug it back in. It just takes a second. As soon as it turns back on, I'll bring it to you. All right. As soon as it's on, I'll let you know. Oh, thanks, Shirley. I'm glad you got some great ideas. It's been great to see you all. Lorraine's like, just show me where the button is. Great to see you. Great to see you. All right, it's up. Come on over. I'll show you where the directional sewing button is. I'll grab a piece of fabric on my way. Show you how easy it is. Okay. Right here. Turning it back on, moving my embroidery out of the way. And because my machine turned off unexpectedly, yes, I want to go back to my original design. This time I want to save it to the machine. So when I go back, I want to do this entire thing again. I'll save it to the machine. Okay, I'm going to click on the home button. And here under sewing, this is where the sideways sewing that Lorraine wanted to know. Scroll across the top. It's under number 3. Depending on your machine, you might scroll on the side here. They're all a little different. Each one of these will sew a different direction. It says to use the end foot. And you can do a straight stitch or you can do a zigzag stitch. So it's under this is number 5. I'm sorry, not number 3. And it shows you which way it's going to stitch. So this is the sideways sewing, and I do have a great video for this on my YouTube channel. I'll see if I can drop that in the chat here for whoever wants to see it. So that's your sideways sewing. It sews sideways, it sews forward, it sews backwards. I even did a video for Brother on that showing how to add lace to the side of the leg. Make sense? Okay, Lorraine, I got you covered. At least I showed you where it is. Just try it. Just stick your fabric under there and use one of those buttons. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Everyone have a great weekend. I will see you on Tuesday. Until next time, everyone, happy sewing. Bye.